Saturday night, our Strictly Superstars took to the stage for the first time this year, and let me tell you, it was a fantastic way to kick off week one, as we had some unbelievable performances. Some of them I honestly think could go all the way already. It was that great. And of course, we had an incredible opening to the show, and it was an overall fantastic way to kick off Strictly Come Dancing 2025. We've got a lot to talk about in this week's recap and review of Strictly Come Dancing 2025 for week one. So without any further ado, let's get straight into the review. So, guys, as you guys know by now, this is actually the first year I am fully watching Strictly Come Dancing 20 for this year, as I've watched it years past on clips and other stuff. But this is the year I've really wanted to get into the show more, and I think already this is going to be a fantastic year. You know, the dances we had this week for week one were fantastic, and I just enjoyed every single moment of the acts. I think there was like one or two I wasn't a fan of, especially one we'll get onto later on in the review. But overall, it was a really fantastic show to kick off the year for Strictly. And we had a opening number where they had Craig dressing up in different outfits, representing different years, like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the 70s had Anton doing wearing like a wig, and then had Shirley for the 80s, and then we had Motzi doing a rumba. I think, or was it a tango? It was one of those two with Johannes, one of the dancers, which was incredible, and it was such a great overall start to the show, and a great opening as well. Just to see the professionals take to the stage was just incredible, and they always deliver. So for this review, I'm basically going to go through each act as it is a performance, as it was in the performance order, give my honest thoughts on them. I'm not going to go into too deep detailed, because I'm not fully good at my dance knowledge, of course. But of course, this is, with this being the first year I'm doing Strictly, I love to hear your thoughts on the performances and who your favorites were, and just your overall feedback for my review. I'll be really appreciative of that. And of course, I'll be sharing with my scores and etc. etc. But before we get into that, I actually want to give a huge shout out to someone who is on the Strictly community that I've recently started watching, and he does reviews on his channel. So I want to give a massive shout out to Thomas James Clark, who does his own Strictly kind of debriefs for each year, and he does a fantastic job of it. I'll leave his link to the channel in the description below to check it out. Huge shout out to you, mate. I think, and honestly, he's actually probably one of the big inspirations why I wanted to start doing these reviews. So I've seen so many great content creators out there, like Shirley, Ed Reacts, Daniel, one of my other fellow friends on the Strictly community, all great people, and I just want to, again, a massive shout out to you, Tom, for basically kind of giving me inspiration to do this. So, yeah, massive shout out once again to Tom James Clark for the inspiration. So, without any further ado, let's get into my review on Strictly Come Dancing for week one. So, kicking off the night, we had rugby player Chris Robshaw and his partner Nadia, and they did a samba to Unbelievable by EFM. And honestly, I think to do a samba as the first performance is really tough, and it was honestly, it's tough to do a samba, but I thought it was a great way to just to get it out of the way for the time being. And so they're basically, the performance started off with him on the top, where he had like a rugby ball, and they took kind of a little interaction with that, which was very cool. And I will say, I think that the overall routine, it was fine. Because I do think there was some like moves that were just not there. Like, I think I felt his body was a bit stiff, I felt like. But I do think he is someone who I could see having some potential in the competition if he does like a waltz or something. Maybe that could really peak. We could see him peak there. But it was still an overall solid start to the series, and a decent first start. And they got a score of 14. I would have given it a 4 personally. I think that's a good score for them. I would have given it a 4. Of course it's week one, so they could definitely improve. But I'm definitely intrigued to see what they do in the competition, as I do think they have a lot of potential to be good. I think, of course it's week one, so the nerves will be there for sure, and of course but yeah, but it was still a really solid start to the show, a solid first performance, and I can't wait to see what they do next in the competition. Next up, we had was Alex Kingston and Johannes, where they did a Vietnamese waltz to Crimea River by Michael Bublé, but it's been covered by various different artists over the years, like Ella Fitzgerald, just to name a few. I think those are the I think Michael Bublé and Ella Fitzgerald are the only ones I fully know. And let me tell you, the drama, the atmosphere that they put into this performance was to die for, and just the way she moved across the stage with Johannes was beautiful. And even there was one point where they I think where they had her spinning on the floor. They literally had her spinning on the floor, which was so impressive. And just the way they told a story to the song, it was just so just it felt like I was watching something in the West End. I thought it was that good. And they got a score of 21, and I would have given this a 7. I thought this was a fantastic opening for them. And I think that they have, if they do some more like routines like this, maybe not exactly like a Viennese waltz, but maybe if they do something like a more of a waltzy kind of like a paso doble or something like that, I would love. I think they could just progress and progress as the series goes on. I think that this is a great partnership for Alex and Johannes. I cannot wait to see what they bring to the stage, and I think this could be signs to see what from them this year. It was a fantastic performance. The way they took command of the stage was incredible, and just amazing. A brilliant first performance. Next up, we had Harry and Karen. Harry is from, of course, the Gladiators, but he was also on the Christmas special last year for Strictly. And they did a Cha 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 to Push It by Salt and Pepper, a brilliant song. And there was even one point where they had him doing a push up, and Karen was on his back, literally standing while he was doing a push up, which was so impressive. I was just like, how is it like he's just that just I mean, of course he's an athlete. He's known for gladiators, but my goodness me, to have that strength and just what he was able to do in there, it was incredible. It really was just mind blowing. And I just and I seeing him get quite emotional at the end, he was actually quite tearing up. He's saying he felt more confident. He felt like he was there this time compared to the Christmas special. And honestly, bless his heart. I he just seems so lovely, and I have so much respect for him. I think this is a great partnership for Harry and Karen. By the way, Anton even had a go at standing on his back while doing the push up, which was quite funny. And that was just like I would not, even if I had a very trustworthy friend, I would not trust them. Even if I had so much trust of them, I wouldn't want to stand on their back while they did a push up. I couldn't do it for the life of me. I really couldn't. But this was a great performance. They got a score of 19, and I think I would have given it a 4. It wasn't perfect, but I still thought it was a solid performance overall. I really enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed the performance. It was a very solid performance overall. So I'm basically just going to go through these as quick as I can, not rushing it, but give my quick thoughts on each routine. And yeah, so let's move on to the next one, which was Stefan, Dennis, and Diane, the Aussie couple, as we like to call it here. And they did probably the most fitting theme for a first performance, and that was the Foxtrot to the Neighbours theme song. And we all know that Stefan was in Neighbours, and he played what character did he play again? What character did he play? In what did he play? He played what did he play? He played Paul Robinson. That's who he played. Him, Paul Robinson. That's his name. But so they did the Foxtrot to Neighbours, and it was probably the most perfect choice for them because they're both from Australia, and I actually didn't know Diane was from Australia. I never knew that, so that was very interesting. And honestly, I think the whole performance was just really charming, and just like I love the whole theme of the routine. There's some good steps. There were some good like waltz steps there with the what's it called with the where they're doing the, I don't know what it's called, but you know what I mean. And then just the interaction with like them doing it. They did the little bit at the Harold's Cafe. They had there some beautiful moves, some great partnerships, and bit of jazzy hands that were going on there. And I love, and also they kind of interacted with the judges at the end. Diane with the judges, with Anton and Stefan, with Craig kind of trying to just kind of teasing with him, which was quite funny at the end, which I liked. I mean, who doesn't love Neighbours? I love Neighbours. I haven't seen it in years though, but it was still really good. And it was a really nice performance. I just really enjoyed it. They got a score of 22. My score would have been a 6. I would have given this a 6. A very solid performance. I could definitely see them making a deeper run. I mean, of course, Diane won last year with Chris McCausland, which was brilliant. But I am excited to see what they have in store for us this year. So, cannot wait to see what they do in the next show, because I think they could definitely do something more up there that could definitely take it to the next level. And I'm really hoping that we do see that. Next up, we have Ellie Goldstein and Vito, where they did the Cha 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 to Yes and by Ariana Grande. I have to say this now. This is probably the best pairing I could have visualized for Ellie, because not only they've got such a great partnership between the two, but also Vito is such a brilliant teacher. He really is. Like, he mentioned that he kind of had this like vision board to help Ellie, and then with like the moves, and he even had cut out like cardboard judges of the judges, and he kind of walked in step by step, which was just brilliant, absolutely fantastic mentoring from Vito. Massive shout out to him, and everything about this performance gave me the biggest smile on my face. The attitude, the personalities, the cheekiness. Oh my god! And by the way, they have their own team now called the Cheeky Team, which is brilliant. I just, you could tell they were having the best time up there, and it was so refreshing to see. This literally reminds me um Chris McCausland and Diane from last year. That partnership is like that. Just amazing. It's such a great partnership. They got a score of 17. I would have given it a 5 personally. I thought this was a great performance, a really strong performance as well to kick off the night. Just really a really good performance, just for first performance, and I just cannot wait for what they do next in the competition. I just think they're just going to blossom as the season progresses, and I cannot wait for that. So excited. Next, we had, for me, the best performance of the night, and which I was not expecting, but oh my goodness, this was such a good performance. And that was Lewis and Katia, who did the jive to Get Ready by the Temptations. An absolutely fantastic song choice, which, when I found out they were doing this one, I was like, okay, I'm excited for this. So the performance started with Lewis on the judge's desk. So basically him doing his routine, some really cool moves. Then he has, he's doing all the moves there, and then he had, Katia come out, and then he did a big jump over on the floor, and oh my goodness me, let me tell you, his stage presence is absolutely off the scale good. Like, and he did like somersaults. He did some somersaults. He did the splits as well, which was so impressive. And he even ended off doing a backflip at the end, which literally blew my mind when I watched. Like, Oh my! Like, let me tell you this. This didn't feel like a week one performance. It did not. It felt like a performance. It felt like the semi-finals of, like, this felt like this didn't feel like a week one performance whatsoever. It felt like something that belonged in week 9, week 8. Like, it was that good for a first performance. And can you imagine, like for me, I think they've set the bar really high for the series so far. Like, I think if this is what they are able of doing, well, if Lewis, in a way, if this is what he's capable of doing, honestly, I cannot wait to see what he does next in the next few weeks. Like, can you imagine what he could do in let's say week 5 or week 6, where he does something unbelievable like this? I am excited. Okay, I'm excited for what he brings to the table. Um, for in the next weeks, because he actually could go all the way already. I absolutely loved this performance. So they got a score of 28, and I would have given my score here would have been an 8. I thought this was a superb first performance, and just the way they took command of the stage, and Lewis's showmanship. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely off the scale. I know it's quite early to say this now, but I am already rooting for Lewis and Katia to win at this rate. Like, I just think this was such a good first performance. Like, this is how you bring it. Like, on the first night, on the first week at least, doing it, like, just amazing. Just I have so much, just my utmost respect for them, and just it was just amazing, absolutely amazing. Next up, we had one of the worst ones of the night, but I'd say just above the worst act of the night, which we'll talk about on later, and that was Ross King and Joe Witter, where they performed the Cha 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 to California Girls by Katy Perry. And so the performance started off with Ross King sliding like behind a Hollywood sign, because he does stuff in America, and he slid down the slide, and they did the thing, and let's just say it was messy. It was stiff. Like, some of the moves he was doing wasn't there. You could tell. I mean, he you could. I give him credit. He was having fun, and I give him credit for what credit is due. But this was not a great performance, unfortunately. They got a score of 10. I would have given it a 2 myself. I would have given it a 2, and just, yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great, unfortunately. I mean, just it really wasn't just. It just wasn't great. Unfortunately, it wasn't great, and just, I mean, there were some moves I thought were okay, but it just wasn't the best. It really wasn't the best. Yeah, some of the moves that they were doing just didn't work out well, unfortunately, and just, yeah. So it was not a great performance, but I wouldn't say it was the absolute worst of the night. So yeah, that's what I think. Next up, we had George Clark and Alexis, who performed an American Smooth to Stargazing by Miles Smith. And can I just firstly say right now, um, the arrangement of this song was absolutely beautiful. A massive shout out to Dave Arch and the Strictly Come Dancing band, or the Strictly Come Dancing Orchestra, for doing this arrangement. The way they do these arrangements are just incredible. They really are just amazing. So it was really just wow. Like, so, I mean, great song choice, by the way. They did it too, and you could tell that the flow between the pairing, the movements, the lifts they were doing, the little lift, little spin he did, with her, with kind of lifting her, was so beautiful, and just the chemistry between the pair is really just beautiful. And at the end, he gave a little smile to Alexis, which was so cute, and just, oh, I absolutely love that. I just loved this performance. It was so beautiful. Like, I do think George is definitely one of those dark horses where he could seriously surprise us as the series progresses. So I cannot wait to see what both George and Alexis bring to the table. So they got a score of 24. I would have given it, my score would have been a 7. I thought it was a great performance, and I just think it was just a really, really beautiful performance and a great song choice to kick off the night. I cannot wait to see what both George and Alexis do in the competition, as I do think they can have that underdog run, that dark horse run, and they could really blow us away as the weeks progress. I think they've got serious potential, which I cannot. I'm so excited to see what they do next. I really enjoyed this performance. It was a great performance. Next up, we had Vicky Patterson and Kai, where they did "Best of My Love" um, the Emotions. It's a song by the Emotions, but it says it's by Ella Array. I don't know who she is, unfortunately. So, but it's basically the Emotions, basically just if you're wondering. So they did the cha 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 to that. I thought yeah, it was a really good performance actually. You know, some the moves I will admit there were some moves that I don't think were perfect, but as it progressed, it really did improve as it went along. It was just, you know, the way they took command of the stage, the showmanship they both have is really, really good, and I just thought this was a great. This was just a really good first performance, and just you could tell they're having the best time up there doing that song, and just again, it was just a brilliant overall, great, a really good start performance to kick off their week. So they got a score of 23 for their cha cha cha. My score, I think, I would have given it. I would have given it a 5. I'm with Craig on this one. I would have given it a 5. Um, on that, and just it was still a really good performance. I think there are I didn't think it was perfect, but I think she has the potential to be good, if that makes sense. So it wasn't perfect, but I think she has got the potential to do well. I believe so. So I'm very intrigued to see what they bring in next week, and what, you know, in the next show basically. And I'm intrigued to see what they bring. So next up we had, again, a bit biased here, but one of my other favorites of the night, and that was Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank and Lauren, who did a quick step to Chelsea Dagger, which I do not know that song. Who's it by? The Fratties. They're from Glasgow. They're a Scottish band from Glasgow, and I don't think many people were expecting him to be the were expecting much out of him. But let me tell you, this was a really, really strong first performance from him. You know, because I know that some sports stars don't off the. It's kind of a flip of the coin at this rate, where they have there's some sports stars that are not that good, some are really not that good. So it's a really flip of the coin. But this performance was really, really good as well, and just the way they did the movements on the stage, the pop, you know, the way they just their feet went across the floor, and what I think one of my favorite moment of the performance was when they did the interaction, where Jimmy did the little football kick, and then the cameraman turns around. Which, by the way, massive shout out to the camera operator for doing that, and that was really cool. And then of course they did the rest of it there, and their flow on the stage was absolutely fantastic. I absolutely loved everything about the performance, and just again, I don't think many people were expecting much out of Jimmy this for week one, but I think he's also someone I could definitely see being as the dark horse to go decently far, and I really hope so. I really want Jimmy and Lauren to go deep in the competition. I just think they're such a great pairing, and I'm definitely rooting for Jimmy to go far. Honestly, I think Jimmy's one of my favourites in the competition so far, so very excited for that. So they got a score of 27. My score would have been a 7. I thought this was a great um, performance. It really was just, again, I just this brought the biggest smile to my face watching it, and I just think they're both got such a great chemistry between the two. It's just really beautiful, and I can't wait to see what they bring for the next performance. And just again, with the different styles they could do, I think they will definitely surprise us as the weeks progress. So I cannot wait for Jimmy and Lauren to give us another dazzling performance. Next up, we had Vicky Patterson and Kai. No, excuse me. I ignore what I said there. We have Belvinda and Julian, who Julian's the new the new pro dancer on the show, and they performed the samba to "Shake Your Booty" by KC and the Sunshine Band. Again, another samba, which I do personally think is very hard to do as a first performance. So so they did that. I'm just gonna quickly rewatch the performance as I talk about it, as honestly, because I like to rewatch these performances. And I thought this was actually scored a bit too low in my opinion. In my honest opinion, it felt a bit under undermarked in my eyes. As you know, doing a summer for the first week is really tough. And again, I do think she could be really good as it goes along. But as a first performance, I thought it was actually really good. I thought it was a good first performance. I loved the song choice they did, the moves they were doing, like the little kind of little like little shoulder rolls, little arm rolls they were doing, the little kind of like little hip action they were doing as well, little thing in it. I can't describe it. But and the glitter ball was there, and again, I just thought it was a really just a really fun start, a really good performance. I think this was definitely undermarked in my opinion. Um, they got a 17. I would have given it a 6. I would have scored this a 6, to be honest. I thought it was a really good samba. I thought, and to be honest with you, this samba was, in my opinion, better than Chris and Nadia. In my opinion, I thought it was better, way better than um, than them, to be honest. But again, I just really enjoy, and again, a great song choice for the 70s, very 70s song, and it was a really good performance overall. Really enjoyed the performance. Next up, we had Lavoie and Ali Ash, who performed the American Smooth to Pink Pony Club by Chapel Roan. But I mean, Chapel Roan is one of the biggest artists at the moment. Is she English or no? She's American. She's an American singer. She's one of the. Oh, she's a drag. Is she a drag queen as well? Oh, okay. So Lavoie, who is, excuse me. So Lavar is also known as Christopher Dennis, but we'll call it by its drag name Lavar, so we'll call it her because of course I don't want to of course massive shout out to Christopher who plays Lavar. So the performance of Lavar and um Aliash, so they did Pink Pony Club. And they actually mentioned in after the performance when they were upstairs in the with Claudia that the pony that Lavar was on was actually supposed to go up, but because there was a technical difficulty there, it didn't actually happen. And so then Lavar had some glitter to pour over the stage, and they did the routine, and it was really, again, it was enough. Honestly, just I loved the performance. I think some of the moves they were doing were fantastic. The spins were fantastic, and what I loved most about was the end where they had the humor with Lavoie and Aliash at the points when they're calling Aliash over and then blocking in, kind of game like it can be like, get out of the way, it's my time. It was very funny. I really enjoyed that, and just again, these two, by the way, again, Lavoie and Aliash are such a great pairing, and they're just so funny with each other. I think we're going to see more brilliant humor between the pair, which I'm so excited for. And again, they've got such a great partnership as well. I really want to see them go far in the competition. I would love that. Um, they got a score of 24 by. They got a score of 24. I also would have given it a 6. They all got sixes. I would have given it a 6. Uh, yeah, so yeah, it was a really good performance to kick off for them. And again, I really want to see what they do next. Um, so for the next one, which I do think they could do something more energetic that could get the crowd going, which is something I would love to see, and I cannot wait for what they do next for the next show. So I got a good thing about I got a really good feeling about Aliash and Lavoie, and I can't wait to see what they bring to the table next week, which is very, very exciting. So good on them, and let's just move on to arguably the worst act, the worst performance of the night. And honestly, I feel so sorry for the professional here, and that is Thomas Skinner and Amy doing the Paso Doble to Battle Without Honor or Humanity. I've got no idea what the song is about, but I'm sorry, but this was just crap. I'm sorry, it was really not good. Like, it just throughout the whole thing, Thomas was just, he wasn't even dancing, he was just walking. It felt like he was just walking there, woodenly. It just wasn't. Honestly, I feel really bad for Amy because I know the controversy that this man's been in. Of course, apart from The Apprentice, he's been in a amount of different controversies for the past few weeks. And honestly, I think she deserves a much better partner after everything she's been through. Honestly, it's not been used properly, in my opinion. So just it was not good. I'm sorry. This was easily the worst act of the night, and I really hope Thomas is out next week. I'm sorry, but this was not good whatsoever. They got a score of 16, which I was gobsmacked about. And by the way, thank you, Craig, for scoring this a 2 because it deserved. The judges scored it a 4 and a 5. I was just like, what on earth are you thinking? It was nowhere near that type of performance. That I scored this a 1. This was a 1. Like if I had a 0, if I had a score 0, I would have it right there. So yeah, that's what I have to say. It's just I just hope that Thomas Skinner is out next week. And again, I feel so sorry for Amy that she is partnered with him because she deserves a way better partner than that. I'm saying it now, and I assume you guys might agree with me, but feel free if you don't. But let's just move on to the next performance, and probably the biggest surprise of the night. Well, not one of the biggest surprise of the night, but we had Amber Davies, who is actually now replacing Danny Dyer because Danny Dyer had to withdraw from the competition due to an injury, and she was originally partnered up with Nikita. About 2 days notice, she partnered up with Nikita and they did the waltz to When We Were Young by Adele. And again, I'm going to say something, I'm going to say a very similar thing to what I said about Lewis earlier on. And that is, this didn't feel like a week 1 performance. It felt like a performance worthy of week 7, week 6, week 5. It really was it was just excellence, pure and utter excellence. The beauty that both Nikita and Amber had in this waltz was truly fascinating. Just the way they took command of the stage together, just the oh my, the moves they were doing, the sync, just this felt something out of a Disney movie. That's how beautiful this was. And I believe, isn't Amber on the West End? Has she done the West End stuff? I need to quickly find out quickly. She's an actress. She won Love Island, and she's done Fierce Productions on. Can she sing though? I'm just hang on. Can Amber Davies sing? Oh, she can sing. Okay, she can. She's trained in musical theatre. I'm gonna have to find out some clips of her singing actually after this, because I want to see if she's actually good. Because maybe after Strictly she could do the Masked Singer. Actually, let me just do that quickly. Actually, I might get sidetracked. Um, See if there's any good clips out there singing or of her singing. Um, is there any? I'll probably find some. Oh, hang on, there's one here. I'm gonna quickly. Let me just listen quickly to this. I'm gonna quickly listen to this. Um, I'm just listening to it right now. Okay, yeah, this is. I just heard a little portion there. I don't know if you heard it, but she sounds decent. She sounds like a decent singer. I'll probably watch more of it later on after the review. Got one more performance to talk about afterwards. Um, But anyways, this was such a beautiful performance. I thought this was just so beautiful. They got a score of 27, and I would have given this an 8. That would have been my score for them. It was just so beautiful, so beautifully orchestrated, and just I cannot wait for the partnership of Nikita and Amber. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be absolutely beautiful, and I just can't wait for that. I just think it's just going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. I just think, and just again, the way they flew across the stage was pure and utter magic. So amazing job from Amber and Nikita. Now we've got to talk about the final act of the night, which I don't think many people were expecting to be this high, and that was Karen, Carney, and Carlos, who performs the jive to One Way or Another by Blondie, which also scored the highest score of the night on the leaderboard. And so they did hang on, let me just get charged some devices quickly before we get into it. So they did the jive to One Way or Another by Blondie, and there was a whole football theme around it because Karen's a footballer. I loved the way they interacted with the football was there, and oh my goodness me, I don't think anyone was expecting Karen to be good, but she was like. I'm not surprised that the judges called this one of the best performances of the night, as it really was. The reaction they got as well was absolutely unbelievable. Like I wish you could. Like I remember watching the performance live, and the reaction through the TV screen was mental. The way they did the jive movements, the kick that little move that she did at the start by herself was amazing, and the whole routine was so brilliantly choreographed. It was so good, and of course they got the highest score of 31, and honestly, I would have given this a 9. To be honest with you. I would have given this a 9 out of 10. It was so good. It was absolutely brilliant. I just think, oh, again, it's no surprise that people have been calling it the best performance of the night. Even the judges said it was, and no surprise, of course. But my goodness me, this was a brilliant first performance, and I think probably my favorite opening. Well, I mean, I've seen one full show, so I can't really say it. But my goodness me, this week was so good. For a first week, we had some great performances, and this was. I think again, I don't think we were expecting much out of Karen and Carlos, especially Karen because I think because. But my goodness me, she absolutely nailed this performance. You could tell she was having the time of her life up there, which was beautiful to see. I honestly think she is another one of those contenders that I could see going to the finals already. So far, I have. We'll talk about this in a minute. But it was just amazing. It was amazing performance and an amazing way to end off the night. So with that, I want to go through some of my top 4 favorite acts of the night, and they were Lewis and Katia, Amber and Nikita, Karen and Carlos, and Jimmy and Lauren. Those were my top 4 of the night. I would do my full ranking, but would be here until next year with that. But again, I absolutely enjoyed massively for week one. It was a brilliant way to kick off the show, and I cannot wait to see what the next few weeks bring us for the show. It's going to be amazing. So I want to thank you so much for listening to this review. I really, with this being my first ever Strictly Come Dancing review and recap, I am so happy to be part of the Strictly Come Dancing community. And once again, a massive shout out to Tom James Clark for inspiring me to do these reviews. A massive shout out to you, my friend. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to this review. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe with post notifications turned on. I would really appreciate that. But once again, thank you so much for watching my review of Strictly Come Dancing 2025 for week one. And of course, I will see you guys next time.